Hey, my fellow wannabe war criminals and murder hobos, welcome back to Geeks and Gunnery. I am your host, TPK, and today we're making a dungeon, and we're doing it as fast as possible. We're going to do it so fast. Freaky fast dungeons for you DMs who are looking for a last-minute solution for your next dungeon idea, campaign idea, single shot, one shot, whatever you want to call it. This is for you DMs. Or for you players who just have never DM'd before and your DM dropped out and you want to run something for your other players and you're just looking for something quick, here it is. Hopefully this will go quickly. Because we are a Geeks and Gunnery channel, this will happen, the dungeon will be based loosely off of fun locations that have happened in action movies. And to start us off, our first dungeon video, just for you, is taking place in the best Christmas movie of all, Bruce Willis movie of all time. The very first Die Hard movie, Nakatomi Plaza, the tower, 35 stories of action-filled fun, full of terrorists / bank robbers and explosives and guns and high-powered action for you. Now, because the main character in Die Hard, Bruce Willis's character, is by himself inside the tower, this dungeon has a little bit of a twist for you and your players. One player, we're starting the player split from the rest of the party. That's right, we're starting him split from the rest of the party. He is trapped inside the tower dungeon, the 35 stories. That the rest of the party is outside. It has to work from the bottom, coming in through the front entrance, and then work their way up to try and find him and help him free the hostages that the bad guys have taken. Now, for you who are running this, the bad guys, I'm going to give them to you. Super simple. They're basically all dragonkin, dragonborn, kobolds, lizard folk of all shapes and sizes, and they all serve a mighty dragon who is taking control of this building, which is supposed to be some type of in this fantasy. It's a tower, but it's also it's got a lot of money inside, right? It's got that bank, it's got that vault. They're trying to break into it because the dragon wants to increase his hoard. He wants more money. So there is a time limit on this dungeon, though, for if you don't clear the floors fast enough as you work your way up and take out the terrorists and such, or the bank robbers in this case. If you don't do it quickly enough, the locks will unlock and the dragon and his cohort will become closer to getting their prize and escaping. Now, depending on your party, depending on their makeup, depending on how you guys like to run things, if you do want to run this as a one-shot or you want this to take a little while, you guys can decide on your own how long you kind of want that time frame to be for when those locks open. It can be whenever the party takes a short rest. If you want this to be bang, 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 super quick, you can make it every long rest. If they decide to take a long rest and get all of their spells and things back, a lock will be undone. You can do it like that. But all in all, that one's up to you. Just some suggestions. Now, there is, however, because if the party wants to try and push onward without taking short rests, we need to give them a way to resupply, a way to get their spell slots, their health, and maybe a little bit of, not getting so, shall we say, exhausted throughout this thing. So what we're going to do is give them a way to get supplied while they're doing the levels of the dungeon. Now, the player split off from the rest of the party will not have this option until he regroups with the party as they're working up the levels. However, the party members that are frontal assaulting and making their way up, they will have access to basically a small teleportation disc. Now, this disc allows the party to basically toss it on a wall, and it basically magically breaches and clears a teleportation portal in the wall, but it takes time to warm up, and then they can put either prisoners, people that are the bank robbers, henchmen, the dragon's cohort, they're his, people that he's using to hold the tower. They can send them through as prisoners and get supplies back. Those will be supplies more for offensive type purposes, like getting your spell slots back and things along those lines. But if you return hostages, those will give you things like health potions and potions to prevent maybe exhaustion, or maybe potions to help get your, did I already say spell slots back? Yeah, spell slots back. Stuff that can help your, prevent you from becoming too exhausted or getting your health back. That's what hostages would kind of give you. The prisoners would give you more aggressive, offensive things that kids are like, hey, you guys are taking them out, so let's give you more offensive capabilities so that way you can take out more. So kind of like a bounty system to kind of help keep them supplied so that way they don't have to take those short rests or those long rests if they want to. Now, obviously, if they do take short rests or long rests, or if they are, trying to free multiple hostages at once, there is going to be consequences that you need to impose. So say, especially if it's the party that's assaulting, like the single player by himself probably might have a chance to hide without having no one be able to take a short rest, without getting found too easily. Now, the rest of the party who is frontal assaulting and they're working their way their levels up, if they decide to take short rests or anything along those lines, the next floor might get reinforced by the floor above, or just so that way when they take that short rest, yeah, you got all your stuff back, you're healed, whatever. But now the dragon and his men are one lock closer to opening the vault, as well as the next floor will now have a higher challenge rating, or whatever you guys want to make it, more bad guys, harder to take because they've reinforced, they know you're coming now. So now there's going to be a higher challenge to the next floor of this dungeon, which is 35 stories tall. And of course, the pièce de résistance, I don't even know what that means. But anyway, the big ending for this entire thing would be fighting the dragon and maybe a couple of his lieutenants at the very top of the tower. And then, if the dragon is defeated as a last defiant act, he reveals to you all he's got the entire building rigged to explode. And you now have to make what a friend of mine and I use in our games, skill checks to successfully escape the building without dying. And that system of skill checks is basically whatever player wants to, whatever the skill, so the player will tell the DM, a skill they would like to use. And if they can narratively and role-playing make that skill make sense, they can roll that as a check, and you, the DM, set so many checks, and if they succeed on so many, they get out of the building. My buddy and I, we usually do 3 checks, so that way it's not like a whole lot of just grindy rolls to get out and trying to come up with interesting ways to do that. And plus, most of the time, most players, their characters, they don't really have like expertise or proficiency in like 5 or 6 skills unless they're at a very high level. So most of the time it's like, okay, you've got 3 or 4 skills that you can do. So 3 or 4 rolls, good number. Good number to do. If they pass those, they get out. If they don't, you go up with the building. I'm so sorry. Now, because we are a gun channel as well as a geek channel, and because that one party member is all by himself lonesome inside the building, we are going to give him a magical item. We are going to give him a gun, and we are going to randomly roll for all of the effects on this. I have all these magical tables. Going to kind of use the same, one of the same tables that we did for the original AR-15 video, which is roll for what technology this gun is going to be based on for the aesthetic appeal of it, But after that, we're going to switch to the gun effects tables and see what magical effects it does and has, as well as maybe what kind of ammo it uses and that kind of thing. So we're going to do that very quickly, and then after that, you may take this dungeon and go forth and hopefully be successful in preventing the dragon from taking off with all of this money. So we have our dragon's teeth dice. We have our cannon. We shall load the cannon. We need a D8, D8, D8. Make this quick, make this quick, make this quick. You guys got shit to do. You got games to run. Okay, a 7. Steam Tech dice. Well, not Steam Tech dice, but a Steam Tech gun. Gun that uses steam to fire projectiles or large springs. Could be fun. So, we have a Steam Tech gun. Yes, 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 yes. I like this already. All right, now we're going to roll for the range. The range is a D6. This is a D6. Yes, 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 yes. I think, yes, yes. D6. All right, D6. Rolling for the range. If I can keep the die in the cannon. And on the table. Holy shit. We have a second D6. I'm not going to chase after that one. It's a 5. Congratulations. Your range without disadvantage for this is 100 feet, which would probably get you basically anything inside of an enclosed tower. Congratulations, you don't have disadvantage on your attacks while you're using this weapon. Now, yes, so without disadvantage is 100 feet. With disadvantage is 500 feet. That is your range on this weapon. Congratulations. You will not have any troubles with anything inside this building as far as range goes. Now, we're going to roll for damage. It's a 5. It's a D12 of damage. A D12, yes. Lots of damage every shot. All right. Now we're going to go for cartridge type, which is a D4. It's a 3. Caseless ammunition. That can be anything you want, honestly. Caseless ammo is kind of weird. It's usually, just Google it, you'll find it. It's, yeah. If you're a part of the gun community, you already know what caseless ammo is. But, could be giant BBs because those don't have cases. Or caseless ammo is basically, in some cases, sorry for the pun there, in some cases, caseless ammunition is basically the powder and the propellant actually surrounds the bullet, and then the quote unquote cartridge, the propellant is around the bullet, and then when you fire it, nothing ejects. So there's no case to eject out of the firearm. It is just simply boom, bullet goes out, propellant is burned, and that's it. It's done. And with a steampunk variant, you could very well use steam to propel the bullet and be fine. So we are going to roll for the type of barrel, which is also a D4. So we have Steam Tech, range, we have pretty high damage, D12, yes, and it's caseless ammo. Now we're going to roll for the barrel. We have blunderbuss, rifled, fluted, or smoothbore. Phew. So we have a blunderbuss barrel. So we have something that fires like a shotgun. That's range is 100 feet. This is broken as fuck. You have a steampunk gun that does a D12 of damage, and because it's a blunderbuss, it's a cone. Holy shit, this is a legendary weapon, ladies and gentlemen. Good God. Oops. Not what I wanted to do. Yes. Alright, damage type. Alright, D12. Are you my D12? No, you're a D10. Are you my D12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, wait. Oh, you're also a D10. Are you my D12? You're a D20. You're a D20. Are you a D12? You're a D12. Alright. Sorry. Haven't used a D12 yet. Alright, so this decides damage type. You have, lightning, fire, cold, poison, acid at 4, thunder, necrotic, radiant, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing. It's a mouthful. So we're going to roll this now. That's a 3 on the dice, so that means cold damage. So you have a 100-foot cone of cold damage coming from a blunderbuss-style steampunk gun. I don't know how this is going to work. Thematically, it's cool as fuck. However, cold steam... I don't even know how the fuck that would work. Okay, anyway, so we're moving on. Now we're going to give this a random magical effect, as if this wasn't OP as fuck enough. So, we're going to roll 2 d10s, because this is basically my homebrew equivalent of a wild magic table for random gun effects that can happen for this firearm. There's a lot of them. Eventually, I will make fancy tables for these and post them like next to my face or like on the screen so you guys can read them and, you know, look at them and be like, oh, hey, you know, it's like, you'd be like, hey, post it up here. But for right now, I'm just going to tell you exactly what this one is, because there's every 2 numbers is an option. So there's 50 options for this, or actually, no, there's every 2 numbers is an option and then subject. Yeah. Anyway, you get it. Rolling the dice now for this random magical effect. 42. 42, 42, 42, 42. I have to scroll all the way to the bottom because this is... Fuck. 42, 42. Okay. Alright, so, this one's... A lot of these are humorous effects. They're not really intended for anything special, but... So, this one has, what is... Hearing Pro. What is Hearing Pro? After you fire this weapon, you can't hear anything for 1 round. So basically the gun deafens you for a round after you fire it. And considering it's a 100-foot cone, and it does a d12 of damage in that 100... Everything in that 100-foot cone takes a d12 of cold damage. Yeah. And it... Yeah. So, yeah. That's fair. You go deaf for a round using a massive cold blasting blunderbuss that is steampunk themed. Congratulations. Have fun with this. So that's it. That's the dungeon. That's the weapon you guys get. For the single player who is by himself off in the tower while the rest of the party has to assault it and save him and the hostages, and he also gets to kill terrorists with honestly a legendary weapon. I'm sorry. It's what I rolled. So, yeah. That's it. That's the dungeon. That's the weapon. Have fun with it. Sorry it took longer than 13 minutes. I was trying to keep it quick. Anyway, I am your host, TPK. It has been a blast. Thank you for watching. And as always, players, remember, whatever you do to your Dungeon Masters NPCs, it is fair game for your Dungeon Masters to do to you. Have a good one, guys.